There's no one here. Bum 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. There's nobody here. No one is here. 0 viewers, 0 views. Dun, 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 dun. No viewers, 0 views. No one is watching. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. No one is watching. Dun, 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 dun. No one is here. I'm going to keep doing this until someone chats. Oh, look, Danny and G Snuggle are here. Hi, guys. All right, I'll post the stream on Discord and Twitter now that you guys are here. Why can I not see the chat over here? That's weird. The chat window's not working in the, That's odd, isn't it? It should be, shouldn't it? That is odd. Why is it not working? Dun 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 dum da 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 dum dum. Oh. Oh, it's resetting itself. You guys remember when we fixed this? The chat resetting itself? How did we do that? Does anybody remember? No, I know nobody remembers how I did it, but I can't remember how I did it either. This is really annoying. I did not know this was a refresh cache of current page. Let's try that. Refresh browser, shut down source when not visible, use custom frame rate. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. The streamer this is a streamer question, not a stream viewer question. Yeah, well, I'm aware of that, but I wanted somebody to be nice and know how to fix my stream for me. But apparently, do your own job. Da, da, da. Man. Yeah, I know. Good evening. I'm glad everybody's here, though. I just have to be meaner to you guys. You guys are so rude to me. You guys are like so incredibly rude to me for no reason all the time. How's the new mic sound, by the way? Does the new mic sound better? You don't have to apologize. It's all good. You guys are just like so rude in the Discord and stuff all the time that I've just decided that I have to be meaner to you guys. The new mic's way better. Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah, I thought it might be. Where is my stream link? Oh, the governor's dinner is tonight. Maybe that's what we'll do. It's not going to be anything worth watching. The mic is great. Is that nice enough? I told you don't have to be nice necessarily. No, it's using the wrong thumbnail. Frick. No, it's okay. I'm going to change the thumbnail. It's okay. I'm going to change the thumbnail. I've got the thumbnail. It's got last week's thumbnail. All right, open. Save. All right, everybody look at the thumbnail now. Now we've got this week's thumbnail. I don't know how you're going to do that without leaving. Don't leave. Hold on. I'll just show it to you. Yeah, that's me. Sorry. Wow, that is so much better. That sounds really good. Hold on. I'll just show it to you. Yeah, that's me. Sorry. Wow, that is so much better. That sounds really good. Oh my gosh, I'm listening to that for the first time. Hold on. I'll just show you guys the thumbnail. It's really funny. Since you guys all showed up in time so early that you're not going to get to see it since I switched it. Yo, doesn't this guy low-key kind of looks like a minion, right? That guy used to be in charge of China. That guy low-key looks like a minion. I think the chat is fixed. The chat seems to be working now. Yeah, it's working. I fixed it. There you go. There's the stream thumbnail. It's a bitmap of me and Nixon pointing. I didn't know what to put in the thumbnail. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I unironically have no idea what we're going to talk about tonight, guys. We're just going to clip farm. The Stream Elements bot is just like, I'm here. It's never done that before. That's interesting. Really odd. That's my streamer. I am the streamer. Oh, so good. You want to know something crazy, though? You guys want to see something? And this is just like totally behind the scenes stuff but it pisses me off. Okay, so this is the filters, the audio filters that I have Stream Elements running, okay? Now, can I show this to you guys? Yeah, I can show this to you guys. Hold on. So, and this is my audio right here, right? This is my audio right here. See how it's just barely not peaking? That's kind of where you want it. That's how you get that loud, crisp audio. It's got some compression running. Anyway, that's where you want it, right? Now, here's the crazy thing, all right? Here's the annoying thing. You'll notice that I have an output gain of 21, which means that I have boosted the output of this audio 20 decibels to get it to this level, okay? That's annoying, right? It shouldn't need to do that. Unless maybe the mic's not inputting loud enough audio. This is the output of the microphone. Okay, you see that the microphone is outputting perfect audio, but the Stream Elements needs to be turned up 21 decibels to get to the same level? What is going on? That's insane. Anyway, we didn't do a countdown tonight because I keep getting copyrighted, so we're just not going to have music anymore until I get over the pain of not getting copyrighted. Probably for like a month. There's going to be no music on stream. I also just want to not get copyrighted for a while because I'm afraid YouTube will take away my monetization. Oof. Excuse me. Raymond DeCoin is here. Thank you so much. G. Schnickel is here. Daniel Pacelli is here. Coach Lombardi said he would be back at 9. We appreciate you being here tonight. Daniel Pacelli's here. Rivka's here. Lexio's here. And that is everybody who is here currently who has chatted. I see there are 12 people watching. If you're watching and you haven't... if you're watching and you haven't said hi, make sure to say hi. And I'll do my shill. I'll say, yeah, you should like the stream. You should subscribe. And you should become a member if you're so inclined. I would greatly appreciate it. So there's all that. I said all the things I'm supposed to. Okay. So I want to talk about, gosh, I don't want to talk about Tucker and Huckabee because honestly, I think most of us are on the same page. Are you going to ping the Discord? I didn't do that, nor did I tweet it, I don't think. I think I forgot to tweet it too. Dude, bruh. I heard the mic audio and was like so shocked at how good it is. Oh, we should save that. I want to see that. Save that. Okay. I know there's technically no reason to worry about showing you guys my like finder window, but I do worry about it for some reason. It does worry me. Um, for some reason, it worries me. What that is, I could not tell you. We could watch. Mark Barnes did a debate on AI recently that I didn't understand. Um, I'm just keeping it a stack. Like I did not get it from what I watched. We could try it again. We could try to watch it and see if I get it. Uh, it wasn't like I didn't get Mark's position. Like I didn't understand the debate at all. I was too stupid. Um, so I pinged the Discord. So we could watch that. That's an option. Um, bum bum. Yeah. So that's an option. Dude, so okay, so here's the thing I was going to show you guys. So what I wanted to review tonight, and I don't want to do it without all the sources. So we might go over like a brief overview of it, but we won't do a deep dive into this. The Nixon thing I wanted to go over tonight is I wanted to go over the 1966 Manila questions and the fallout from it, because the Manila questions and the fallout from it directly are what made Nixon the front runner for president of the United States, honestly. Happy is here. Thank you for being here. Hello, Happy. The front runner for the Republican nomination for president of the United States. It's just like that is the thing that happened. He was so good. Uh, Johnson was, responded so terribly to it. Um, and it's what led Johnson to dropping out of the race and led to Nixon becoming the Republican nominee. Um, and so Judge K7K, thank you so much for being here, said, we need more high-ranking priests and cardinals to be cunning like Cardinal Richelieu was back in the day. A lot of Catholics in general are too naive these days. We need to be more cunning. I agree with we need to be more cunning. I'm unfamiliar with who Cardinal Richelieu is. I'll look it up here in a second when I finish this story. But Johnson crashed out so hard about this speech. And basically what happened is Johnson said that they were prepared to pull out of Vietnam, which, looking back on it now with the anti-war current climate, that sounds like the correct position or the position we would favor. However, the problem is the way he did it was basically he said if the violence ratcheted down, and if the North Vietnamese did certain things, then everyone would pull out of South Vietnam. Now that sounds great. The problem is when you do that publicly and with everyone in the coalition fighting in that war, you give the North Vietnamese, you give the Viet Cong, they know exactly what they need to do to get the Americans to leave, and then they can go right back to doing it. So it's not like a viable solution for peace unless you're intending to give up whether or not you win. Now, you can be anti-war all you want, but you can't intentionally lose a war and sacrifice your allies. Like that's not how men of honor behave. And so Nixon calls him out on this. Nixon is like, look, President Johnson's position here and this document that he's put out after the Manila conference, it's just stupid. Like, this isn't going to work. This is a bad idea. And so he says this in this speech called the Manila Questions. Now, the next day, Johnson fully crashes out in a press conference, fully crashes out, and says, one of the things he says, he says, what is the quote? One of the quotes was basically that Nixon had no idea what was going on in the White House during his vice presidency, which is completely unfounded, totally made up. And to that end, Eisenhower came out like a day later and was like, "This is completely untrue. Nixon knew exactly what was going on. He was one of the best vice presidents in history." Because he was Eisenhower's vice president. And then Nixon gives this speech on TV, and it was very, very good. And the Republicans won a lot of seats in the midterms, on and on and on. And so this all happens. And anyway, I wanted to go over all of this stuff, like actually review the original primary sources of the text. However, the only place online, and we're going to try one more place, but I was searching for like an hour, no joke, searching for an hour, for the actual text of the Nixon's quote appraisal of the Manila Conference. And the only place I could find it was in this New York Times printing of it. However, the first page, the digitization of the front page is available, where it's an article about it. However, the text on page 18 is only available in the New York Times paid subscription for their newspaper archive. The jacket I'm wearing is in the banner above the subscribe button, and Happy knows that because he made it, so I appreciate that, Happy. So the New York Times, so the only place I was able to find, and the reason I told all that story to say this, is because this speech is one of the most important speeches in understanding politics in America in the last 100 years, as it's the speech that kicked off and made viable the most impressive political comeback in American history, and the only place you can find it is paid. Like, that is ridiculous, okay? I understand, they want to get paid for their work or whatever, but we're not talking about, like, I want to read your, like, 1960s editorial page on lithium, which, by the way, was, nickel prices. Yeah, so here's all the articles printed in the November 4th, 1966 edition of the New York Times. It's not like I want to read, like, store sales increase or, like, aqueduct race charts, or, like, I'm trying to, like, get the image to use it for stylization and decoration. I want to read this. I just want to read the exact words of the guy who became president. Okay? That's what I want. And you can't do it without paying them. That's so stupid. That's like the dumbest thing possible. So anyway, I was going to try to find it, but the one last place I was going to check, and I just had to start streaming. I literally was looking for like an hour for this speech, was the Nixon Library. And hopefully it'll be there, but I'm not confident, because this is going to be, this is going to be just the President's Daily. It's not going to have any. It's not going to have, I really doubt it's going to have stuff from prior to the presidency. Yeah, did you ask St. Anthony? I didn't. I probably should have. It's not going to have anything from prior to the presidency, but good grief. Gary's here. Thank you so much, Gary. I'm glad you're here. Let's check the Nixon Foundation. No, I don't want to give you my email. Oh, I forgot to feed the dog before I went live. I knew I needed to do something before I went live. Nope, not gonna be in there. Presidential speeches, that's fun. The Great Silent Majority, that's a goated speech. Buchanan wrote part of this. It's a goated speech. Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know where else to look. It doesn't look like it's on this website. So yeah, it's just like how I'm like so frustrated and like so angry that the like it's not like I want to read. They don't own these words. That's the other thing. They published them, but they published them in the, like, they're in the public domain. That if anybody owns them, it's like the Nixon family or whatever, like, they don't own them, but the only place on the internet you can read these words is if you pay the New York Times. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's so stupid. Journalism and journalists are evil, and you should hate them more than you think you should. So there's that. I'm gonna feed the dog real quick. I'll be right back. It'll take 20 seconds. So I made this bread today. Wouldn't be easy to find at all, but odds are it's available at some random library archive. Yeah, that's the other place. I tried to find some website that just archives newspapers. So I made this bread today. It's sandwich bread. I made it in my bread machine, and it is surprisingly like sandwich bread. Like, I don't know if you can tell how, like, light and fluffy that is, but, like, it looks like white sandwich bread, and it is the texture of it too. Like, just very light and fluffy. The crust is a little thicker than you'd want on sandwich bread. Um, and I do not like it as much as the regular white bread that the bread machine makes. It's not as good texturally or flavorally. But yeah, I made this bread today, and it's got two very big holes, two big old holes right there. But it's really good. It's not as good as the other one, but it's very good. Okay. All right. So that was an interesting segue. Well, it was sitting on the counter, so I wanted to show the bread. All right. Here's the other thing, the other show and tell we have to do. These are different. Did you notice that these are not these are not the Kodak books? So I got 4 of these this week. I got, if you didn't see on Twitter, I got the Haldeman Diaries. So I got the my Nixon obsession is becoming weird. So I got the Haldeman Diaries, which is the daily diary of the Richard Nixon's chief of staff, H.R. Haldeman, who did go to prison for Watergate. One of the guys we were talking about a couple weeks ago. So this is his daily diaries. This book is called The Silent Coup, and it is a book on how so this is a book on focusing on, so this talks about the Yearman Radford situation, which we talked about last week, and the guys who actually did Watergate without the president's permission, and how the media used all of that to oust Nixon. So that's a good one. This is John Ehrlichman's book, Witness to Power. So this is his book on working in the Nixon White House, which Ehrlichman also went to prison. He was the White House domestic policy aide, I think. Maybe it's like chief of staff for domestic policy. Anyway, it's an interesting book for sorry, that's weird. Found some interesting business cards in here. So it's his book on the White House years, and pretty interesting. And then this is H.R. Haldeman's actual book on his years in the Nixon White House. So not his diaries, but his actual book on it. So I found these weird business cards in the Ehrlichman book. I think they look like they are supposed to look handwritten, but they do look very hand-drawn. They're actually printed, so that's weird. All right. So that's what I wanted to do tonight, but alas, no luck. I will have Legate. Where is Legate? If Legate shows up, I will have Legate find it for us. Do they have notes or highlights in the books? No, they're all in really good condition, actually. I know the dust jackets look like they're a little rough, but they are in actually nearly perfect condition. They are in gorgeous condition. Yeah. So, oh, thank you so much, Raymond. Try not to disobey the 10th commandment, but I really want that jacket. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. The jacket is sick. It's a super fun jacket. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Super fun thing to have around. And I wore it on a podcast like this time last year, actually. I wore it on a podcast. So it's a fun jacket. Happy really likes it. I know Happy likes it. I got it at TJ Maxx. I don't even remember what brand actually made it. Maybe it says it in here. Nope, doesn't say. So, thank you so much for your super chat, Raymond. It's very generous of you. All right. So, I did not want to talk about the Tucker Huckabee thing, but I guess we're gonna talk about Tucker Carlson and Mike Huckabee. And I mean, I don't know how much you guys are going to like my take on this, because I found a lot of this highly annoying. Okay. I'm going to start the Tucker. The way Tucker conducts his interviews, where he is making statements, but he's phrasing them as questions. I find it very annoying in long form. It's great in cable news, and that's why he was so good at cable news. But I find Tucker's actual style, um, I find Tucker's actual style, um, really actually kind of annoying in long form. I'm not gonna lie. Um, because after a while, like in a cable news segment, it works better. It needs to be harder hitting or whatever. But his long form interview, after a while, it just becomes grating to hear him like totally change the subject and ask another confrontational question that he knows his guest disagrees with him on. And I it's I know that like this specific debate is, I do agree more with Tucker than I do with Huckabee, but I just want to put out there that I find the reason that I didn't want to talk about this is because Tucker is asking questions in like the most facially confrontational while pretending that he's not trying to like just debate Mike Huckabee. Like he's like just like it would be more watchable if he would just admit and come out and say like I'm just going to debate Mike Huckabee. Great, let's do that. Let's just debate Mike Huckabee. You know what? Like, okay, no problem. Like nobody would have a problem with that, right? But he doesn't, and it's very frustrating. So, and Mike Huckabee answers these questions in the most bought and paid for way possible. Dude, it's hard to watch from someone who disagrees with him because he's just like saying things that it's so obvious he shouldn't say, right? Like it couldn't be more obvious that it's a bad idea to say that we should just like it would be fine if Israel took all of the land from the Nile to the Euphrates. Right? Like that I understand that it's probably a good thing that he admits it for the larger discourse. But watching it from like the perspective of somebody who understands the debate, which we all do, like that is really dumb. And let me point out something else, right? And I'm losing people. I'm losing viewers because they're going away. They're frustrated that I'm not just like Tucker destroyed him. Let me point out something else. When Huckabee says that, okay, it doesn't it has more consequences than you get to tag people on Twitter who you disagree with and say, "Oh, I was right about this." The whole reason that we have this debate is because it has real world consequences, okay? And when Huckabee says that, it actually causes serious problems politically. Because now the Trump administration is forced to either ignore this or fire him because it can't come out and or disavow him, right? But if we disavow him in and disavow like this thing that Israel clearly wants, leading into conflict in the Middle East, which is seemingly coming one way or another, like it's gonna have real consequences that could put real lives at risk. It's just a really dumb thing to say. But overall, yeah, he does believe that, and so he's an idiot, right? Like it's pretty clear that Mike Huckabee. I think I think overall, like the maximalist position of calling certain people like shills and evil and like you're paid for by Israel or whatever. Like I think that maximalist position a lot of times is a problem. Um like I don't think it's true most of the time. I think it's true about Mike Huckabee. Like the maximalist position, or please use a keyframe sequence of 4 seconds. Currently, keyframes are not being seen often enough, which can cause buffering. Current keyframe is. What the heck is go? What do you mean? What the hell are you talking about? I'm not dropping any frames. What are you doing? Okay, I'm fine. Is the stream okay? I'm getting a notification that there's something wrong with the stream. I think I think most of the accusations to people in general that like, oh, this person or this person or this person is like bought and paid for completely, or like they care more about Israel than they do about America. I think the majority of the time that's untrue. There are some people who just happen to think our allyship with Israel is beneficial. I might disagree. But I think it's true about Mike Huckabee. Like watching this interview, I think you would have to be dishonest to claim that Mike Huckabee believes America is as good of a country or as necessary for his, like deserves his support or as necessary for the world as Israel is. Like I haven't had a discussion with somebody about this. I almost would like to watch this interview, like do a joint reaction with somebody who is like a Zionist, quote unquote, because there are parts of this that like me watching Tucker, I'm like, why the hell would he like that's oh my gosh, like that's a dumb thing to say, you know, like but I maybe I'm just broken and in an echo chamber. But watching the Tucker Huckabee thing here, I unironically, not kidding, cannot see any explanation for him like waffling on the Euphrates to the Nile thing, which he did say, and then he took it back later. But he also said that they just want a little sliver of land. And he was like, well, it would be fine if they took it, but they don't want to. And then, you know, he's talking about you have a right to it because of religious, but then Tucker points out that if you convert to Christianity in some cases legally, that you lose your right of return, and well, you have a right to it genetically. And then Tucker's like, well, are they genetically testing people? If the right is genetic, then are they genetically testing people? You know, and they have a right because they've been there for 3,800 years, which is just not true. You know, not only did they get kicked out by the Romans, or did they have to come back after the Balfour Declaration? But like God kicked them out of the Holy Land all the time. Like that's just, it's just not true that the Jews have lived in Israel consistently for 3,800 years. Like, dude, what do you think the Babylonian exile was? They got exiled. Right? And so this right to the land is clearly not an absolute right. And I'm not claiming to be God and be able to like decide their rights, but like there are none of your rights which are absolute, you know? I'm not actually here just doing my duty for the algorithm. Wait, before you leave, can you try to find the November 4th, 1966 edition of the New York Times, page 18, please? That's not a joke. I actually do need that. Please don't leave. If you're going to leave, can you at least write that down and find it for me, please? I can't find it. I know you'll be able to find it. Thank you. Thanks, Legate. But like, yeah, and this is something else. This is something I pointed out, right? Um, this is something I pointed out a couple months ago when I forget who the debate was with. Who was the? I forget who Tucker. It was it? I forget who it was that there was like an ongoing debate about Jews having a right to Israel in December. And I pointed out like that if saying the Jews' right to Israel is an absolute, or if they do certain things, they ought to lose the right, or like that it's okay to take it away from them on occasion, like based on that definition, God is anti-Semitic all the time in the Old Testament, which clearly isn't possible. Therefore, that is not anti-Semitism. So the biggest problem with Mike Huckabee's position is that he says he gets it from the Bible, but then he says things like the Jews have lived here for 3,800 years, which is just not true. Because I've read the Bible and they get exiled when they break the covenant. And correct me if I'm wrong. You know, maybe I'm hands up. Maybe I'm wrong. But Jesus is God and there's a new covenant. And when you reject the new covenant, maybe you got exiled again. Right? So what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here, Mike? Like, Ambassador Huckabee clearly does not seem to know what he's doing. Like, he's just saying things. You know what I mean? It just seems like he's just saying things that sound good, but when you and this was the bigger problem is I was more frustrated with Tucker for not asking interesting follow-ups, right? So like Mike Huckabee says they've lived here for 3,800 years and there's this passage in Genesis that says they have a right to it, and it's like, okay, but the New Testament says that there's neither Jew or Greek. All are one in Christ Jesus. So why does their right extend like why was Paul wrong? Like, is there not like what's going on here? What are we doing here? You know, and please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. What the hell is a keyframe frequency? I don't know what a keyframe frequency is. 0 buffering. I just found the whole thing incredibly difficult to listen to because Tucker is a journalist and journalists are annoying. Settings, output, advanced. Settings, output, streaming, bitrate. What? What are you talking about? Replay buffer. All right, I'm just going to turn the bitrate up. I'm just going to turn the bitrate up to double. What are you going to, like, what? Oh, it's a 0. It's at 0. That's a problem. I don't know how to change that midstream. I don't think you can. It's supposed to be at auto. It's supposed to be at auto, but it is not working. So hopefully there's no buffering. You're good. I'm having troubles with buffering, but I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi is terrible, Happy. It's probably your Wi-Fi. No offense. And like, oh, you sent a link in the Discord to the next article. Yeah, Tucker as a journalist, like just all journalists are annoying, like somebody else said. Bro, what the... Can I show this on stream? Is anybody going to be mad if I show this on stream? The article is lost media. It's not lost media. It's just you have to pay for it media. So I found the whole thing annoying. Mike Huckabee gave the dumbest possible answers. Tucker asked the craziest possible questions. I really found it annoying. We can watch some clips from it, I guess, but I just couldn't get through it. I'm not gonna lie. I got through most of it. I got annoyed near the end and gave up. All right, here you go. Look at this. I just opened the Discord, okay? Hello. Hello. Is the Stream Deck just decided not to work? All right, Stream Deck doesn't work now. Cool. I opened the Discord and found this in the screenshots. Like, what are we doing? Nice base. When it's night, you can sleep in the graves. Nobody lives in the cemetery. They all died years ago. What is going on, X-Tex? X-Tex, what is going on? What is going on, dude? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, big dog? It's freaking weird. Was the bread... Why has the bread been in the banner the whole time, Happy? Bro leaked the Discord. I didn't leak the Discord. I posted a meme that was posted. Log in through your library. Bro, I'm gonna throw somebody off a cliff. I have to log in. I probably should get my library card fixed. Leaking private communications. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Dumb. All right. Let's look at...
In the entirety of the world, there are about 16 million Jews total. And 8 million of them live here. The rest live mostly in New York or South Florida and a few other places.
Okay.
So this is a small population of people. They have connection to this land historically, biblically.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
If Bibi's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious.
But
in what sense?
How do we know that?
Do you have his family tree? No, we don't.
Do you?
He doesn't. So no one does. That's the point. So how do we know that he has any connection to this land at all?
And if there
okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. What do we do? What? Tucker's asking this question in the most annoying possible way, but Mike Huckabee doesn't seem to have an answer and just will not answer the question or say, like, what, like, why won't he not? Hey, other problem. Like, Tucker is doing this in the most annoying possible way, and it makes it hard to watch. And I'm just done apologizing for it, okay? The way Tucker conducts himself in this interview makes it hard to watch. I like a lot of his work. This interview specifically was brutal. However, Mike Huckabee is giving the most, like, it's shocking to me that it's just like clearly his default answer. Because if you were to say to somebody last week that Mike Huckabee thinks that we should, that establishing Greater Israel and taking land from all the other countries is fine, and he's okay with that, they would call you an anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist. But bro just said it in this interview. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a surreal experience. And also it's like literally in an airport terminal, and you can tell it looks like it's in an airport terminal. The whole thing just feels like you're in a weird bad dream. Tucker's always playing a character. Just look at his. I mean, yeah. I don't know if he's playing a character. I think he's just an odd duck. I think he's an odd duck, honestly.
And a connection to the language, the Bible, the land.
His ancestors didn't. He doesn't practice Judaism in any rigorous way. His ancestors didn't live here. They didn't speak the language, and there's no evidence they ever lived here. So on what basis does he have a right to be here?
Very much speaks the language. He has fought for the land.
Dude, I'm going to learn to speak Hebrew, and then I have a right to Israel. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Like, Tucker has asked this question in the dumbest possible way. He just has to go, he's not a native Hebrew speaker. He's not, like, and like, you just have to, he has fought for the land. But earlier you said it's like a genetic thing, or they have to be a part of the tribe. Like, this whole thing is just like, yes, I get it. It's a win for like people who want to point out that maybe Israel has too much power over our government officials. I understand that. I took Hebrew in college. Time to get that $7,000 real. I understand that. But can we also admit that this is like, it's so hard to watch. People were getting upset at me today, not on Twitter, like a couple people in real life and in some text messages. They were like, dude, look at how cool this is. I was like, this is impossible to watch. Like, this is so frustrating. I want to hurt I want I want to not watch this. Like, I'm not, like, it's not enjoyable. It's just not. Like, what are we doing? It's not good content. You should be president of Israel and say, we have a biblical right to South Carolina, and see the Senate bend over. Honestly, unironically. Can y'all put the link in our card? I've never. No, okay. I don't know. By the way, which of you is you? All right, which of you texted me 1 minute ago? Just say here. I won't out you. I won't dox you. One of you has texted me 1 minute ago and asking about putting a link in archive. I just want to know which of you that is. I'm not going to say your name. And no, you cannot. You cannot do that. For the person who just asked, you cannot do that. It will not work. It will not work. My screen is flickering. Is your screen flickering? Crazy. Yeah, the screen is flickering. Italy has a right to the Holy Land confirmed. Yeah, I don't. They did talk about that, and Tucker was like, "No, I don't think the Romans have a right to it." But it's just, if the promised land is promised to the followers of to God, to the people who are following God, then it's promised to Christians. If it's promised to genetic Jews, then they should all have to get DNA tests. And I'm not saying that I think they should. I'm just saying, like, you have, that's a problem, right? Like, if it's promised to people who speak Hebrew, then anybody can become Jewish. Like, anybody has a right to it. Like, so it's not a right. It's just like a conditional. So it's just a reward for learning a language. What are we doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Even, yeah, they aren't sacrificing at the temple, so even besides Christ, they're clearly not following the covenant. That's the other thing, right? Like, let's say you're like, oh, I'm a dispensationalist. I think that the law, they have the law now. Okay, well, it's still not the same religion. Like, they're not doing sacrifices at the temple. What are we doing? Like, none of this makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's you know, Oren kind of nails this, right? Oren says that, like, Huckabee pivots from biblical justification, breakout Galatians, genetic heritage justification. I'm regularly told Israel is not an ethno state, but nobody told the ambassador. Fair. Dude. It's a stream. Hold on. Bum. It seems fine. It seems fine. It's a little washed out. Dude, why does it look so washed out? That's so annoying. My camera still looks washed out. We'll have to fix that. Regularly told the Israel is not an ethno state, but nobody told the ambassador an international law of justification because now we're ceding American sovereignty to the UN. Yeah, okay. So either the UN gets to decide who has a right to Israel, genetic heritage, in which case it is an ethno state, or biblical justification, in which case no, it doesn't work. The idea that, like, it did just it's just not there. Either way, I think I would like to hear Mike Huckabee break down why Galatians doesn't break his position apart. Actually, this is the most frustrating thing for me from Tucker in this interview, is that he just didn't do his research. He seems to have gone in unprepped, or unprepped beyond what he already knew. He just was like, oh, I'm going to go in knowing what I already know, and that's all I'm going to work. That's all the research I'm going to do. So he's not even asking the most interesting questions. He's like basically presenting the weakest version of, like, the anti-Zionist case, and then still winning somehow. It's just hard to. I just keep saying it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. I think Israel's strongest claim is that of conquest, and by that claim, I acknowledge their right to exist. This is kind of where I'm at, right? I think the secular state has a right to exist because of conquest. I don't think it's a religious right, though, right? They have a right to defend themselves and exist there because they happen to exist there. I just don't think we should care at all if they succeed or not in America. That's my position. I don't think they have a biblical or theological right. I think that I don't think they have a biblical or theological right. The secular state of Israel happens to exist there now, so they clearly have, like, a legal right to defend themselves. That's where I'm at on it. But we should not be helping them. It just doesn't matter. Tucker pins Huckabee down on the heritage claims and asks if it belongs to the English or Irish who are currently being displaced in their homelands. Huckabee pretends he does not know anything about this and refuses to answer because the obvious and honest answer is that he believes the Jews have rights that no other people on earth do, and not just religiously derived rights, but rights on a pure claim of ethnic heritage. This man should not be representing America when he obviously holds a view of ethnic supremacy on behalf of the country he is serving in. This is true. This is a problem, okay? He thinks that Oh, okay. He thinks that he thinks the more frustrating thing is like
Irony of the world.
the most frustrating thing from Huckabee in this interview was that he kept pretending that he was like, is somebody trying to tell the Britons and the British and the Irish that they don't have a right to their land? Like, bro, you know that they are. Like, you know this is true. You know this is true. Stop. Like, just say yes. Just say that the British and the Irish have a right to live in Britain and Ireland. It's not hard. Why can you not say it? Why can you not just answer yes? It is facially scummy and politically malfeasance. It's political malfeasance to get asked a yes or no question and then go, is anyone saying the otherwise? It's like everyone knows that politicians do that when they don't want to answer the yes and no question. Everyone knows politicians do that so they don't have to say yes or no. Like, what? And Tucker doesn't just go say yes or no. Like, in an interview like this, you have to pin him down. But Tucker clearly didn't do any prep. Like, he clearly didn't prep for this. And as a result, the whole thing is half as useful at best as it could have been. Other Paul, indeed, Galatians is basically legal cheat codes for arguing against them. Jesus is son of Abraham. We unite to him in faith and baptism, ergo we are sons of Abraham. This is always the intent. Yeah. Like, and that's the other thing. Like, if Mike Huckabee's argument is that like these people are descendants of Abraham, like he's going to have to also argue that the Muslims are not descendants of Ishmael. Do you see why that's a problem? Like, he's going to have to argue that the Muslims are not, like, the Arabs are not descendants of Ishmael, which no one on earth thinks. Because by his genetic justification, his genetic justification is like they're people who are descendant of Abraham. Well, we're all one in Christ Jesus. We're descendants of Abraham too. So by that justification, I have a right to it. Either that, or you're saying that there are certain genetic makeups which are more important than baptism. So, good luck finding that one in early Christianity. Good luck finding that one in the first century church. Or you have to say that the Muslims also have a right to the Holy Land, which is clearly not true. I don't think that at all. I'm just saying Huckabee's position was... Like, you could have broken Huckabee's position open so much better and had a way more interesting discussion, which would have been way more fruitful, but it wouldn't have been as punch him in the face, clickbaity. If you just prepped, but instead we got this like clickbaity bull crap where nothing really gets answered besides Huckabee says a couple dumb things and Tucker says a couple dumb things. Other Paul, what should I watch, dude? I have nothing on my agenda for tonight. I wanted to read this Nixon speech from 1966, but it's archived and it's behind paywalls everywhere. It's one of the most important speeches in the history of American politics. It's behind a paywall everywhere you can find it, which I ranted about at the beginning of stream. I'm so mad about that, dude. Like, I'm actually livid about that. That it makes me so mad that I'm not talking about an article. I'm talking about the exact words of the speech. But let me know what you want me to watch. I don't want to do anything theological. I don't do theological stuff here. I try to do mostly politics. We're doing my tab just crashed. Anyway, if you have politics stuff you want me to watch, let me know. We will take recommendations. I'm going to run an ad real quick and use the restroom. So I'll be right back, guys. Apoc Shakur. You guys want me to talk about Apoc Shakur? Apoc Shakur. Not even seeing an LOC ad skipped. Doesn't matter. You saw it. Hopefully, hope viewership jumps. Hold on. I can check your live chat. Here we go. You want me to watch Byron? Has he done anything? What? Did this happen? How did I miss this? This can't be true. That can't be true. You guys aren't you in Australia? True. I was ready for the Aussie politics, dude. I can react to Aussie stuff. I did some British stuff. No, I did the interview with Connor. So I could do Aussie. I can do Byron. Byron. What happened? Did he I'm hungry and I'm out of snack food, so I'm drinking chocolate milk, by the way. Did he really say this?
Right now, we're going to keep the law as it is.
Will you commit to a full abortion ban as governor?
Right now, we're going to keep the law as it is.
Will you commit to a full abortion ban as governor?
Bro, what are we doing? Abortion stuff is so frustrating, dude. Did Jeremy Carl pass the Senate? I don't know if they voted. I don't know that they voted, dude. They still have not voted. They held the hearings. They still haven't voted. The Senate is useless. The Senate and Senate Republicans are terrible. I really like Bernie Moreno. He's really great. Every other senator, I'm not joking. I don't think there's another senator in the Senate that I would vote for. Like I would vote for primary challenges for every senator. Except for like Bernie. Every other one. None of them are good. I'm sorry. You can't be a part of this, and they're so useless, dude. They're so useless. He hasn't been voted on. Did you guys see? Look, hold on. Let me show you this closer. So you let me zoom in a little bit on this so you can see this. All right, let me zoom in on this so you can see this. They got the nomination like in January. Why are we still doing this? What are we doing, man? Like they're useless. They're the worst people. They're so bad at this. Does this guy have a Oh, I thought he had a freaking lightning bolt on his neck.
program fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
Your community does deserve accountability. That's why you're all going back. Congratulations. Yay! Is votes scheduled for another month? What are we doing, dude? I don't know if I still want deportations. What do you mean you don't know if you still want deportations? And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Oh, shit. Well, that stinks. Hold on. Settings. Turn that off. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. That's fun. Clicked the wrong thing. That's fine. I don't think there's anything in there. That's too bad. I'm looking at it now. I'm hiding screen and then clicking at it. Plane fuel, it's expensive. Who cares? Sphenicus, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? Yeah, it's fine. I don't think there's anything in there. That's a big deal. Okay. Yeah, okay. I turned the DVR off. Okay, I just have to remember to unlist the stream and take that out. Just think of the carbon emissions. I am thinking of the carbon emissions. That's why I want to do it. Bro, okay, I would have... Dude, this is funny. You guys seen this? Okay, I haven't seen this video, but apparently... Yeah, women are pretending that this is like... People are pretending this is sexual tension. Dude, they hate each other. That's two guys who want to kill each other. They want to hurt... Bro, oh my gosh. They squid... What are you talking about? He's squared up on him. Yo, look at that. Look at how far back... Oh my gosh, they hate each other. Oh my goodness. Dude, just look at the like opening engagement. They're not making eye contact. They're not making eye contact. They're both avoiding eye contact until right here when they're squared up and they're like, dude, yeah, those two, wow. Dude, women are so silly. Women are silly. All right, let's look through my. You want
I have a question for the gentleman in the redneck costume. I saw that you made a claim that was to the effect of, Americans and the issues we're facing, immigration is not even within the top 10. And you immediately cited the Constitution when making this claim. I would like to know if you can recite, and I know we had a little bit of an issue earlier with our citations, do you happen to know what is written at the top of the Constitution in a section known as the Preamble?
We the people. We the people.
That's 3 words.
Thank you. After that, there is, believe it or not, additional language. And what it says...
Hang on. Are you want me to recite the entire preamble?
It literally...
Are you want me to recite the entire preamble of the Constitution?
It is a crime that you have been allowed to speak so much
already. Am I in
already.
3rd grade fucking history class?
What it continues to say...
Do you still have it memorized? I don't have it
is that the Constitution...
We the people in order to form a more perfect union... Come on, just what's your fucking question, guy?
Try getting it out. I don't know if they're going to put this on
Yeah,
television.
first of all, I raised my right hand, and I swore to defend that Constitution.
Okay.
So you, I do know it. What's your question?
Well, what you don't know is that it is written specifically
What's the 27th Amendment?
for ourselves and our posterity, which is to say Americans and their direct descendants, not foreigners and illegal aliens. So true.
Well, Rivka just self-doxed. Rivka doxed. Self-doxed. Catholics cannot believe that aliens exist. By the way, Catholic answers way too naive when talking about this. They need to tell people firmly, Donovan. I am not sure that you can phrase it in that. It's anything. I will tell you this, Judge. Anything which is not dogmatically defined, you really should not speak about it in language that strongly. It leads people to scrupulosity, and you definitely shouldn't do it publicly. In private settings, that's one thing, but doing it publicly means when you say things publicly, you don't know who's hearing it, and people who struggle with scrupulosity could hear something phrased as a moral surety and then struggle with it. So anything not dogmatically or doctrinally defined, don't bind other people to it. You can argue that certain other doctrines lead to that. However, you can't phrase it in a way of absolutes. It's dangerous and can lead people to Ever heard of would you baptize an alien? No, I haven't. That's crazy. Yeah, the sojourner, not the invader. So true. So true. So true. You guys want to talk about this tweet I posted that the Gropers are mad about so I can stand on business about it? You want me to stand on business about this? Look, I'm standing on business about this, all right? If you didn't see it, Nick says that Buchanan was a hero, but that he was a loser and we need winners. And, bro, you could make that statement if you are winning elections left and right. As it stands, Patrick Buchanan, at your age, had won a presidential election through his speech writing, and you haven't won a congressional election. I understand you said he's a hero and he and Nixon are heroes, but they're beautiful losers. Like, okay, Nick, by that definition, you're also a beautiful loser. I'm sorry. Like, I understand what you're trying to get at, but don't do it by bringing down people who are like the shoulders of the giants you and your movement will need to stand on to have any success, or that America and as a whole will need to stand on to have success. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stand on business about this one. I haven't seen this clip. I retweeted this video and this stuff, and I actually didn't watch the clip. So
the AGs in many states are very clear about they're almost jubilant about being able to use these laws to ban young people from accessing content that could be educational if they are queer. And you're a principal, you have LGBT students in your school.
Sorry I'm late. Finally catching one live. Greetings from Saskatchewan. Hello. I'm currently attempting. Look, the Holy Father asked us to give up slurs for Lent, so keep it a stack with you. Keep it a stack with you, boys. Keep it a stack with y'all. Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me.
And we also know that they're not receiving sex education for queer kids. We know that prurient interest could be, for many people, the very existence of transgender kids.
I can't get through. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How did anybody sit through this live without how is there nobody in this room that got through got through this live and in person without screaming? I think I would have screamed. I think I would have screamed. I don't think I could have sat there quietly. I think I would have screamed and or thrown up and it could have been both. I think I would have screamed and then thrown up and then oh my gosh. You know how it's like it's lead us not into temptation, and Jesus won't give you a temptation stronger than any you can handle. That's the reason I wasn't in this room, because I don't know if I would have been able to handle the temptation to react to this and manners which are physically confrontational.
More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids.
There are not.
Paxton case. And the AGs in many states are very...
It started over? No.
That prurient interest could be, for many people, the very existence of transgender kids. More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids. You mentioned the Paxton case.
Okay, that was the end of it. Okay. Okay, we got through it, guys. Sarah McBride binge stream win? Is that binge? Are you trying to type the word binge and just typoed? Is that what it was? I got through it. We got through it, guys. We got through it. We all made it. Chat, we made it. We're alive. Chat, I need you to all do something right now. I need you to I need you to go here. I need you to go here, and then I need you to click this button right here, and then click this button right here. All right, everybody do that. Everybody do that. That was not actually, no, that was not Sarah McBride. That was a state rep somewhere. I need to click this button and then click this button. You got it, chat. We can figure out exactly how long the delay is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-second delay. We got an infinite tunnel. Got an infinite tunnel here. It's crazy. You guys enjoying the tunnel? Everybody do that right now. Did everybody do it? Okay, everybody did it. Good. I'm glad everybody did it. Christopher Hale ran. Okay, but the National Party platform. Okay, the National Party. Christopher Hale's so annoying because he's like, I'm pro-life, but the National Party platform and the people he encourages others to vote for, Oh, never mind. I was just taking his word for it. I was like, the National Party encourages people to vote for it. Does spamming it help? I don't think so. Not unless you're actually going to send it to somebody. And then, yeah. This guy has to be like this guy should be excommunicated unironically. Like Christopher Hale should unironically be excommunicated. There's a lot of people who should be unironically excommunicated. I would get Christopher Hale before anybody else cuz he does more damage online than any of the others. I don't know what his handle is. Oh. Well, that's not helpful. I was right the first time. I was right the first time. Why didn't it help me out? I'm pro-life, but I would never vote to stop abortion. Yeah, okay. Then you don't think it's murder. The same thing with Kristen Hawkins and Lila Rose. They don't believe it's murder. They just don't. I don't care what they say. They don't. Yeah, he's like they just don't, they don't want like, oh, we shouldn't arrest people for committing this murder. Then you don't think it's murder. Either it's murder or it's not. No, I'm sorry. I know we're going to probably disagree with this on this, Rivka, but if it's not murder, then if you don't think people should go to jail for it, then you don't believe it's murder. Simple as. Either it is murder and therefore people should go to jail for it, or you don't think it is murder. Or you think murder is excusable. Either way, you are an idiot unfit to lead. It's not politically tenable, but I agree people should go to jail. It is this is gonna be the one time I'm gonna take the extremist position on something and be like, as much as I talk about political like wisdom and like prudence, if we're going to claim that it's murder, it is more politically tenable to propose solutions which treat it like murder. People will take you more seriously and believe the things you say if you believe them yourself. And I don't think that it's true that Lila and Kristen behave in a way or propose policy in a way which convinces the average everyday voter that they actually believe that abortion is murder. Like, and most of the time I'll say like you should take the politically tenable position, but the thing, so hear me. What I'm not saying is I don't care that it's politically untenable. What I am saying is I actually in this case do think that the politically more tenable position is to propose policy that's in line with your rhetoric. Because if you propose policy that makes it seem like your rhetoric is going too far, you're just not going to be taken seriously. What they believe, like logically, and how they act are two different things. Lila and Kristen do not act like they believe abortion is murder. Kristen literally shut down a bill in South Dakota to criminalize abortion because it would also have imprisoned women. Like that, she claims that she didn't, but everyone has. Anybody can read the documents. She did it. She did that. Okay, she did it. A person who thinks that abortion is murder does not. No, she did. I've read the document. She did it. Even her own explanation for it is like, oh, I said to take it out. Like, or I said, she did it. She did it. I know she did. I've read it all. I read her letter. I read the Students for Life letter. She did it. Okay. Somebody at Students for Life did it, and she's the president of Students for Life. Therefore, she's responsible for it. Whether or not it was her personally is irrelevant. She's the president of Students for Life. Students for Life did it. She did it. Students for Life as an organization, like, somebody did it. Somebody at Students for Life did that. That is not the action taken by people who believe that abortion is murder. I just, like, no. I'm gonna find it now. I'm gonna find the documents because I want to read them, point out, show people what I'm talking about. What is my phone going off for? Huh? Okay, that's weird. South Dakota bill. Criminal. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, the letter. So it wasn't a bill, but it was a. So it's so the. Um, it was an equal protections resolution in the Republican Party platform for North Dakota in 2024. And Marjorie Densfeller of the Susan B. Anthony, Carol Tobias of National Right to Life, Jean Marchini of March for Life, and Kristen Hawkins of Students for Life signed a letter delegates demanding the delegates reject Resolution 6 in support of establishing equal protection for the unborn. In their statement, the pro-life leader affirmed now infamous 2022 open letter from over 70 national pro-life organizations condemning any legislation that would give equal protection to unborn children. Just 2 years earlier, that 2022 letter had helped kill equal protection legislation, which had made it all the way to the House floor of Louisiana. So where is 6? Yeah, so that's the open letter. Here is Kristen Hawkins' name on the document. And with this in mind, we are troubled that the North Dakota Republican Party is considering a resolution that supports charging women as co-conspirators in their own abortions. Yes, they pay for the abortions. Legally, they are co-conspirators. They called it troubling. While we understand and support the desire to hold the abortion industry to account for their decades of destruction of human life, spreading lies and confusion and putting profit ahead of the safety of women and children, turning these women into criminals is not the way to protect the unborn. That is an explicit statement that she and everyone who signed this it's an explicit statement that they do not think women who pay to have their children killed should be criminals. And that's Kristen's name on the document. So no, she didn't shut down a bill, but Kristen has assigned her name to a document which explicitly says that she does not want women charged. I don't care what she says. Her actions act as if it's not murder. It doesn't matter if you get tricked into paying for a hitman. If you pay for a hitman, you go to jail. The Pope called it hiring a hitman. Pope Francis called it hiring a hitman. Like, I understand Kristen is denying this. I understand she denies this all the time, but anybody can read this. She said that she doesn't think you should turn women into criminals for paying to kill children. She signed it. In an open letter signed by over 70 state and national pro-life organizations, 2022, the pro-life movement's opinion on criminal penalties for women for their own abortions is clear. Okay. And this is the other thing I'm talking about. Making this the opinion of the movement as a whole. No, you can't get it banned and talk about it later. Because either it's murder or it's not. If it's not murder, then there's no reason then there's no reason to ban it. And if it is murder, then you have to treat it like it is murder legally. And frankly, some states should just start doing it. Like, somebody should just start arresting women and doctors for this. Any men who conspire in the procurement of an abortion, any boyfriends or husbands, we get them, and you get the woman who consented to it, and you get the doctor. You just put them all three in prison. Done. You can't ban, like, there's never going to be a successful pro-life movement so long as we water down what we're saying by being like, like, it's just not going to happen. As national and state pro-life organizations representing tens of millions of pro-life men, women, and children across the country, let us be clear. We state unequivocally that we do not support any measure seeking to criminalize or punish women. We stand firmly opposed to include such penalties in legislation. That is a preemptive, I'm right about this. She didn't oppose a bill, but she opposes it in principle. It is in this letter. She signed her name to it. She either needs to disavow this letter and ask for her name to be taken off, but it's in this letter. It's in the letter. She says she's opposed to penalties, criminalization for murder. If you believe something is murder, you don't publicly sign your name to a document opposing criminalization of it. If it's murder, then everyone who conspires in it is murder. Today we write you to reaffirm that position in opposition to criminalizing or otherwise punishing women and in opposition to the resolution before North Dakota Republican Party. While Joe Biden and the Democrats works overtime to ensure that women only have one choice, unlimited, unregulated, taxpayer-funded abortion every stage of pregnancy, the Republican Party must offer an alternative vision. In America, where the culture of life is embraced, children are welcomed and loved, and women are supported through every stage of pregnancy, no matter the circumstance in which they find themselves. In short, a pro-life America. All of this is a bunch of political bullcrap, because none of that is undercut by making murder illegal and giving criminal penalties to people who conspire in murders. In fact, here's the thing. Honestly, I'm going to say it. You want a pro-life culture? It requires criminalizing women. If you are not criminalizing women, you're not fully invested in a pro-life culture. End of sentence. That's the whole issue. If this is a life issue and this is murder, then everyone who conspires in it goes to prison. If you don't believe that, I'm sorry, your actions are such that your actions don't line up with your words. I don't believe you that you believe that it's murder if you're not going to criminalize everyone who conspires in the murder. We ask that you reject Resolution 6, supporting the concept of implicating women as co-conspirators in their own abortion. They don't get kidnapped and driven to the abortion clinic. They don't. I'm sorry. Like, if somebody is super racist, and they don't think that a certain race of people are human beings, and they don't think a certain race of people are human beings, okay? And so then they go kill a bunch of them, or they go kill one of them. We don't not charge that person because they were confused. Oh, I didn't think it was human. Oh, okay, you don't have to go to prison then. That's not how this works. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter that they don't believe it's human or that they were fooled. It is a human. They did pay for it to be killed. They need to go to prison. That's all. This is not complicated. Oh, but we want to be nice. We want to win. We want to win the election. Well, your nice way hasn't won a single election. There's been five state referendums on abortion that have come up since Dobbs. All of them have lost. You have failed. You suck. You're terrible. You're terrible at your jobs. Forgive me, but I'm not going to take advice on what's politically tenable from the people in charge of the movement that lost 5 state referendums in red states. Do you know how bad you have to be at your job to lose a pro-life state referendum in a red state? Pretty bad. Do you know how bad you have to be at it to lose it 5 times in a row? Literally the most high-level incompetent possible. Every one of these, like, I'm not kidding. This is going to get me in trouble. This is going to bite me in the ass down the road. This clip's going to bite me in the ass down the road. Fuck it. Every leader of a pro-life organization needs to publish a document on what they are going to do to make this better in the next 6 months to a year, right? Or they need to be fired. All of them. I'm not kidding or exaggerating. All of them. I don't care how much of a public figure they are. If your main job is to create a culture of life and to make pro-life issues more, like to win pro-life votes, and we're losing every time we try it, then you guys all suck at your jobs. All of you. Like, come up with a plan. Show us what the plan is besides just saying, like, oh, we're going to talk about it more. No, what's the actual plan? Or quit. Because I'm not going to take advice on, ooh, but if we say we're going to put women in prison, that's untenable. From the people who, what the hell do you know about politically tenable? You haven't won a freaking election. It's politically untenable. Win a fucking election, then you can talk to me, all right? How about you win a fucking election? If you're not going to win an election, shut up. Go back to your office. Find an actual plan. Win an election, then you can come back and tell me what was tenable in that election. Until you win an election, how about you shut up? You know, it's the like, win an election and then you can run your mouth. Until then, no. Until then, Until then, everybody who signed this letter doesn't get to intervene in any policy, doesn't get to intervene against any criminalization measures. Win an election with your position in a state that isn't Florida, the reddest state in the country right now. That's not a joke, by the way. I think Florida's redder than, like, Texas. It's redder than Alabama. I'm pretty sure it's like Texas is. Florida is the most secure. Oh, it's redder than West Virginia. Heck yeah, West Virginia's still blue, dude. West Virginia's just barely not blue. I mean, it's bluish purple. You're trying to win an election in West Virginia is gonna be tough. Win an election in a state that isn't the reddest state in the country, and then we can talk. Until then, you don't get to intervene in anybody's policies when they're going to do something that you don't like that's too far. We ask that you reject Resolution 6 supporting the concept of implicating women as co-conspirators in their own abortions. Should instead redouble its efforts to protect women and children through the legislative process and join the pro-life movement, ensuring that women are served and babies are saved. The protection of women is achieved by telling them, if you kill someone, you go to prison. That is protecting them. if you it is protecting them to tell them if you do a murder, you're going to prison. Purgative Way, we're talking about Kristen Hawkins specifically. She signed this letter. She signed this letter opposing women being criminalized, abortion being criminalized for women. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, what do we do? I mean, this is just, it is protecting someone. You found the Nixon article. You actually found it? All right, let's see. There's no way you found this. Holy cow. Wait. You found a scan of the original Buchanan. This is from Buchanan's typewriter, dude. This looks like it's from a typewriter. Did you find a scan of the original Buchanan? Holy cow. This is really long. I didn't realize how long this is. We definitely have to wait till next week to do this. What is Levi doing? He's eating. Yeah, this reproduced at the Richard Nixon. Oh, it's a reproduction at the Presidential Library. Maybe it's saying that it is found and reproduced there. This is definitely an original scan. This is an old scan. For release AM. What are we talking about here? Somebody sent me... can I show this? I can show this. Somebody sent me this. We were looking for... I was going to read this tonight for a stream, but I couldn't find it. Somebody found it. It is a speech written by Buchanan for Nixon on the Vietnam withdrawal strategy as proposed by Lyndon B. Johnson in 1966. And it is very good, and it is what ultimately led to Nixon being the front runner. You know what a scam ET is? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Why could they keep their mouths shut until the bill was passed, stop the murders, then argue about things they liked afterwards? So this is not a bill. This was not for a bill. Let's be clear. It wasn't for a bill. It was for a addition to the 2024 North Dakota Republican Party platform. North Dakota Republican Party wanted to make criminalization. Yeah. Yeah. Bum bum. All right. Oh yeah. We should end early tonight, guys. Everybody has to wake up tomorrow at like 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific. You guys gonna be awake tomorrow morning? U.S. Canada gold medal match. Everyone's got to watch. It's the U.S. Canada gold medal match. You guys watch the Olympics? I'm just watching this thing. I just want to watch Canada be sad. Can I not watch Canada be sad? I just want to watch Canada be sad. Oh, I'm watching my own stream. I just want to watch Canada. Whoops, I was watching my own stream. I just want to watch Canada be sad. Miller Extra Light? Bro, what? Why would you drink Extra Light? I can't say anything. I'd probably drink Extra Light beer and like it. I do love an Icy Light. Dude, Icy Light is great. Is there anything? There's nothing interesting going on. There's nothing good. There's nothing good, is there, guys? What are we supposed to do? Oh, restore Britain. Let's listen to this.
There has been a protracted effort by people in other parties, the establishment.
Yeah, Andrew got arrested, but like I don't care, dude. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care.
To pin statements made by unverifiable ex-accounts and members of the public who haven't broken the law but are perhaps inconsiderate, impolite, are not acting in the same gentlemanly fashion that Rupert Lowe himself does, and I think we should all aspire to. They've tried to pin that to Restore Britain and tried to make members of Restore Britain answer for that conduct on social media. Now, that is a guilt by association tactic that we expect from the establishment. However, I will just say to some of the more rambunctious supporters, or, of course, some anonymous accounts, potential bots, agent provocateurs, saboteurs, and even, and I suspect this because it happened to UKIP, and not that we are anything like this party, we've already been denounced by Nick Griffin, for example, but it happened to the National Front and the BNP. There were intelligence agency efforts to sabotage parties that they thought were contrary to the national interest on issues like immigration and membership of the European Union. Be careful not to give the enemy ammunition when they want to smear us by association.
Yeah, big brain. Behave well. Optics. Watch your optics. Watch your optics. Everybody watch your optics. Watch your optics. Crazy. My British friend was excited. Yeah. Good to have British news for the British. Don't do politics you wouldn't be okay with your opponent making an ad out of. Yeah, pretty true. We know all the things I say make good ads because Ex Cathedra makes them for me. Bro, my phone is moving. No way, I just got a howling mutant like, guys. Bro, what? Is that real? Oh shit, it's real. I just got a howling mutant like, boys. W. 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 Got a howling mutant like, boys. Bro, I don't know what happened to Casey Putsch, but he fully went off the rails. I'm still gonna vote for him probably because I can't stand to vote for Vivek, but he went too far. He's just like he went full like Trump bad. It's just like the dumbest way to go about this politically. Do the needful and vote for Vivek. I'm not gonna vote for Vivek. I'll still vote for Casey, but I was really disappointed by that. Like it was just political. I don't know who decided to do it. It was a dumb thing to do. I also tried to. I wouldn't be saying that if I was working for him, but I tried to work for him. They really never. I offered multiple. It's just. He like had a full crash out on Trump, like calling him Orange Man and stuff, and then was like, "I was running a psyop." And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? What are you doing? Oh, dude, there's nothing. There's nothing. Boys, there's literally like there's nothing. I'm trying to find content and it's just been a boring week. See what happened in Congress. Talk to a subscriber. I'm talking to you guys right now on Discord. No. Absolutely not. Hard pass. Hard pass. I'm not worried about you guys behaving. I don't think any of you. That's the problem. I'm worried that you guys don't have. Okay. How long does it take a carrier strike group to get from Gibraltar to Gaza? I don't know. Who the hell do you think I am that I would know how long it takes a carrier strike group to get from Gibraltar to Gaza? Who do I look like to you? Buddy, I'm drinking chocolate milk and Diet Coke at the same time. I'm hungry and I ran out of snack food. Looking for anything to talk about? How long does it take? It takes half the time it takes them to get halfway there. What's Gibraltar? You don't know what Gibraltar is? Gibraltar's the little strait between the tip of Spain and the top of Africa. Run about from Cyprus to Kuwait. Who do you guys think I am? And I'm not worried about you guys behaving. All right? I'm not worried about you guys behaving in Discord. I'm worried that you guys either will behave too well and therefore it won't be interesting, or will not behave at all and therefore we will all get in trouble. I don't think that the majority of you can walk the line. You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed of you guys. I just don't think I think that there are 18 of you watching. I think one of you could walk the line of being entertaining while also not getting in trouble. It's a very fine line to walk. I don't care. Oh, look, it's Bernie Moreno.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging you saved the best for last. I appreciate that. Right? Is that was what you said?
You may extend your remarks at your leisure.
Perfect. All of you are in the media, entertainment, and broadcast business, whether directly or indirectly. So as we approach the end of this hearing, give me the 20 to 30-second reason why the cap should or should not be increased, starting with you, Mr. Waldman.
Well, I think our
What is the Broadcast Association cap rule? What the hell is the 39% rule? A congressionally mandated cap limiting any single entity owning television stations that in aggregate. Obviously, we shouldn't increase that. What the hell are we talking about? That's a terrible idea. Why is this even being considered? Also, why is this not a major story? This is crazy. How long would it take Bernie Moreno to get from Gibraltar to Gaza? What kind of, what's he doing? What kind of vehicle is he in? Why would we increase the cap? Why is this even a discussion we're having? We're going to let somebody own more than 39% of television stations in the United States. He's swimming. It would take an eternity because he would freaking die. He would die. Bro's going to die. I'm sorry. I love you. Bernie, if you ever see this, big fan. One of your voters. You're going to die. You're not making it. You look fit. You look like you're well put together. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. Why would we ever... I didn't even know this was something being considered. This is so dumb. He can take breaks. Where's he going to take a break? Tread water? Die. Bro.
group actually hasn't taken a position on whether or not they have the authority to do
well, you feel free to.
But I would say this, that if you look at liberalizing the cap, don't just assume that scale will lead to more local news. If you believe that's a possibility, then require it. Require that liberalization is tied to guarantees that it will lead to more hiring of local reporters.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Senator, I dealt with a very...
Why don't we just require more local reporters? We don't need to... Ooh, you could get more local reporters if you give us more stations. Or I could just make you hire more local reporters. I am the government. I could do whatever I want. This isn't the most important politics of the week, but it is by far It is top 5 and no one's heard of it. This is why I watch this channel, guys, by the way. I am going to subscribe to this channel so I get these in my this is why we watch this channel, by the way, because these hearings, every once in a while you'll open one and you'll be like, "Yeah, that doesn't matter." Every once in a while you open one and you're like, "What the hell is going on?" And this is one of those instances. Why is no one talking about this? This is insane. We're all tracking ships and airplanes. These hearings are boring. Yeah, I get it. But, like, you can wait for Iran to happen without... What's up? You could wait for Iran to happen and also realize that, like, why... We're going to have a discussion about if somebody should be allowed to own television stations that reach more than 39% of the population. Like, why... No! No! We don't need to have a talk about this. That's a terrible idea. Yeah, Seamus has this bit where he's like constantly like, that's a thing that was allowed. Like, it's 39%. Like, I'm finding out that it's 39% right now. And they're like, should we let them own more? No! Make it less! I'm peeking this microphone. Obviously not. Obviously not. Make it way less, dude. What? What are we doing? Oh, currently you can reach 40% of American households with one guy. Should we make that more? No! 12% of the broadcasters make 39% of the narrative. Literally, what do we... Oh my gosh. Yeah, Seamus does this bit where he's like, every week something happens and you're like, oh, Congress votes to strip illegal aliens of their free cell phones. You're like, they had those? Yeah. That's crazy.
Very similar issue, and I was general counsel of the FCC. Under Chairman Pai, we repealed these prescriptive net neutrality rules that were industry-wide, applied to everyone, every internet service provider of every shape and size. The problem with prescriptive rules like these media ownership rules is that they quickly become outpaced by technological change. This 39% number is pegged at what networks look like, broadcast groups look like 20, 25 years ago before this whole explosion of online streaming content. In order to have a prescriptive rule like that, you need to have pervasive evidence of market failure. We don't have that here. You need a scalpel instead of a sledgehammer. If there's competition concerns, let's handle that through the Department of Justice, through the FCC's existing public interest review.
No. Let's handle it when it becomes a problem, or, and hear me out on this. Hear me out. Instead of let's handle it when it becomes a problem, let's just make a law so that it can't possibly become a problem. What is the possible, oh my gosh, what is the possible upside of this? What's the possible upside of letting somebody own more than, over 40, what, oh my gosh.
Not through these outdated prescriptive rules.
Thank you.
He's saying we shouldn't have the rule at all. What? We need a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Not when the doctor takes 40 years to make any incision. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's saying we shouldn't have any rules at all, so we just have no rules on the book that say, hey, you can't own more than, you could just own as many television stations as you want.
Mr. Leggett?
Modernizing these ownership rules, including elimination of the national cap, is existential for the future of local broadcasting. Our industry is competing for advertising dollars with Google and Facebook, global behemoths. We are competing for audience and for programming with Netflix and Amazon. And simply put, we are doing it with one hand tied behind our back because we can't even gain scale nationally to allow us to compete in those markets.
Mr. Reddy? Well, Senator...
So that's the argument for it. The argument for it is they could... Oh my gosh. The argument for it is they need to be larger so that they have a bigger, so they can negotiate together. That doesn't mean you have to own the stations, though. Surely there's a method by which you can, like, you can negotiate in larger, like, chunks. What if you just, like, that doesn't mean you have to own the stations. What if you just form like a confederation of, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I think there's several reasons. One is Congress set the mandate. Michael O'Reilly, the former commissioner, just said overwhelming number of commissioners said it's law. Ajit Pai had said it's law. Brendan Carr had signed a concurring opinion saying it was law. They don't cite any legal experts that I'm hearing from that are saying that you could just change it by a bureaucratic act of the FCC. We've been sold a bill of goods. The FCC was mandated to do these public TV licenses to serve the local communities. In my mind, there has to be a tremendous emergency for this to all be waived so the big 3 or 4 big companies can own all of these licenses. And so far, the broadcast industry has not told the Senate any data that provides that they're in crisis. In fact, Nexstar made $2 billion. If you look at all the other companies, the top 7 TV station groups all made pretty much in excess of $500 million in EBITDA in 2024. There is no crisis. They're inventing this because they know they can make billions of dollars by waiving the rule. And it doesn't serve the public interest, competition, or the diversity of voices that the public would like, especially with local news.
All right, well, thank you. I'll turn it back over to us. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
That was epic. I liked that last guy. I don't know who he is, but his answer was cool. All right, I'm going to take the dog out. He's freaking out, dude. He's freaking out. I'm running ads. Y'all are getting advertised, too. Where's my browser that has the YouTube in it? You're getting ads. You need to go outside, Levi? You go potty? You go potty? What's that? What's that? Huh? No. No, you're good. Go. 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 Levi, go. All right, you're not going outside. I'm sitting back down at the stream. I got a stream. You can go outside or you can go. Nope, not doing this with you. Nope. I'm streaming. You're not gonna do the dance. Okay, he wouldn't go outside. He just wouldn't go. He wouldn't go. So he can't go now. The dog would know how long it takes to get from Gibraltar to Gaza. Why do you guys want to know this? All right? Okay. How long does it take to get from Gibraltar Gaza by boat? Seven to 8 days. 7 to 8 days. That's the answer to your question. Are you happy now? It's 7 to 8 days. How fast does a carrier strike group travel? 25 knots. All right. Knots to nautical miles per hour. 1 nautical mile per hour. Okay. And that's 1,600. It's 1,600 nautical miles from Gibraltar to Gaza. So 1,600 nautical miles divided by 25 knots. Yep. Equals 64. It takes 64 hours. All right, so it's like a little less than 3 days. No, Bernie Moreno would not be faster. What are you guys smoking? Happy Feast of the Chair of St. Peter. Thank you so much. Happy Feast of the Chair of St. Peter to you. But what is he saying? I'm really fast. He's not going to swim 25 knots an hour. 25 knots. What? What? You're high. You're high.
Thank you very much.
You're smoking reefer. There's literally nothing going on, guys. There's nothing. There's nothing, boys. There's like I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find anything. It is the slowest possible week. It's so crazy. Yeah, okay. What is James White beefing with Lecrae? Supreme Court struck down some tariffs. No, okay, so the Supreme Court, you guys want the rundown on this? The Supreme Court was like, "Hey, don't do those tariffs." And then but they said, "You can't do those tariffs under that law." And then Trump was like, "Cool, there's this other law that lets me do tariffs." And then nothing changed. He was just like, "Oh, so I can't do the tariffs with this one. Okay, well, I have this other law, so tariffs under this law." Nothing changed. Nothing happened. The Australian government is letting in IS brides. I don't know what IS brides is. I love politics. Yeah, dude. That one, that was the dumbest story of the week. Trump was just like, I should do this other thing. I should do this other thing instead. I would do this other thing instead. Yeah. What is there any? Oh, here you go. Here's a classic. Here's a good one. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Moving on, there are over 1.5 million diagnosed paranoid schizophrenics living in America today. Should our healthcare system be doing more to make sure they are safe to themselves and others by watching over them 24 hours a day?
Yes, we need to monitor these people to make sure they're safe. Hide cameras everywhere they go, in the streets, in their homes, in the eyes of people at the convenience stores where they shop.
Cameras aren't really enough.
I read it in a medical journal recently that a number of doctors have already begun to place microscopic tracking devices.
Crap. Wait, we can't watch this. We'll get copyrighted. Crap. There's literally like nothing happened this week, chat. We might call it early, dude. Chat. We might have a short stream. It might be a short stream. If they're traveling at their top speed, it might be faster. My dad was in the Navy. He was on a carrier, I believe, during test exercises. He was pretty sure they were going faster than they could. Can your dad weigh in on if Bernie Moreno could make this swim? He would die. Do you think we'll eat food in heaven and the new earth? Yes. We will have bodies. There will be food. I like Bernie Moreno a lot. He could not swim from Gibraltar to Gaza. Here, I'll do you a favor. No, I'm not going to do that. I was about to call his office and be like, I just want to know if the senator thinks he could swim from Gibraltar to Gaza. Siobhan Head is one of the most important female voices. She started. What is this? Is this just an AI essay on Shu? Yeah, it's just an AI essay on Shu. What are we doing? Ask him the distance he could swim, please. We need the content. Do you guys think that if I call Bernie Moreno's office in Washington, D.C. and say, hi, I'm one of your constituents, and I'm live streaming to 18 people right now, and they want to know if you could swim from Gibraltar to Gaza, do you think that he's going to call me tomorrow? Is that what you guys think is going to happen? Is that what you? It's a really slow week. This is the most burning political question. That's fair. It might be. Do you think do you think his office is gonna call me tomorrow on a Sunday and go, no, the senator does not think he can do that? Better yet, do you think they're gonna call me on Monday? What if he did though? He's probably bored too. I guarantee you the people in the Senate aren't bored. You know when you're bored about politics is when all the cool stuff is happening? X-Tex, we need to have a talk about the cemetery. What the hell was that? Somebody sent that in the chat in the Discord server. That's creepy as hell. What's wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you, dude? Chill out, okay? Anyway, moving on. Do you think if I call my senator nobody lives there. It's large. I hate you so much, X. That's so creepy. I want you guys in chat right now to tell me that if I call my senator and go, hello, I'm leaving this message for Senator Moreno. I'm one of his constituents. My name is Josiah Law. I live in Steubenville, Ohio. No, self-docs. Everybody knows that. We would like to... I'm streaming to 19 people live. We would like to know if you, the senator, think you could swim from Gibraltar to Gaza if you got breaks. And then I hang up. Do you think on Monday I'm going to get a phone call and it's gonna be Senator Moreno going, "Hey man, thanks for your call, thanks for your question. No, I don't think I can do that." Oh, and I have to ask him if he thinks he could, how long it would take him. I hate. What do we do? Is that what we're is that what that's what you guys are telling me? I hate you guys. You guys are the worst. Okay, fine. You got me to admit it by okay. You know what? You know what? You know what? Screw you, Mysterion. Bernie.
Hi, this is Senator Bernie Moreno from the great state of Ohio. It's an honor and privilege for me to serve as your United States Senator. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Of course, your call is very important to me. Please leave a brief message, including your name and contact information, and a member of my team will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you, and have a great day.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, Senator Moreno. My name is Josiah Lott. I'm a constituent of yours from Steubenville, Ohio. I'm inspiring political streamer, and my chat is insisting that I call you and ask if you think you could swim from Gibraltar to Gaza. This is not a joke. This is actually happening. There's 17 of them. They're all insisting on it. So can you swim from Gibraltar to Gaza? And if so, how long would it take you? Thank you so much. Have a good day. See, now the problem here is that I can't leave this man my phone number. I can't leave this man my contact information because I'm not giving you idiots my phone number. What do you guys want me to do? How do you think this is going to go? I want you guys to tell me how you think this is going to happen. All that's going to happen is I'm on a watch list now. You didn't mention that he'd get breaks. I hate you. I hate you. Why did I do that? It's a crucial part of the question. It's not. It's not, though. It's not. What, he's just going to swim until he's tired and then be magically transported back to his house dry and get to sleep, and then he can go back whenever? Everybody could do that. Everybody could. Then, yeah, obviously everyone can do it. He gets a boat to follow him. I hate you guys. We said he'd have a boat nearby. You didn't, though. You didn't. You just said he'd get breaks, and I said, how's that going to work? And then you just moved on with your lives. You didn't say that, though. No, let chat cook. Danny, I'm gonna do to Happy's house. I'm gonna do to your house what we did to Happy's house. All right? Happy, go in your house in Minecraft. There's nothing wrong with it. What? I didn't do anything. There's no Happy's Basement Funland. What are you talking about? Danny has a basement. Happy doesn't have a basement. I looked. You and I met. We met in Colorado. I don't remember. Obviously, I wouldn't remember your username. So ask if he wants. I'm not calling him back. That's not happening. Matt Frad can make it. What? Make it what? You think Matt? I'm telling you right now, Matt would die with the magical transportation qualifications. All right? Love the guy. I love the guy. He would die. He would die. He would die. I have no context for what this is. Do you think, Happy, do you think if you got brakes, you could swim from Gibraltar to Gaza? Matt couldn't make it with the magical transportation brakes, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. Bro would do it and he'd be like, nah, I'm done. I don't want to. Which means he would die before he finishes it, so he would die. I'm right. I love the guy. He wouldn't do it. Justin Burkell, thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, you have little faith. It's not little faith. I know him. Even my car has brakes. You guys are the worst. Oh, then not really without God's help or wrongly by a devil's luck. You could do it in a car though. No, it's the ocean. What if he had a tamed dolphin? Guys, there's no human. What are these breaks going to consist of? Like, how long are the breaks? 8 hours? And how often are the breaks? The dolphin would do it. Dolphins live in the ocean. Of course, a dolphin can swim from Gibraltar to Gaza. That's not what? That's not interesting. He's Australian. No, they can't. What about the cool Spy Kids car that turns in summer? Then if you gave if I had a submarine, I could go from Gibraltar to Gaza. That's not swimming. Could the dolphin swim from Matt Frad to Bernie Moreno? No, because they both live in landlocked countries, in states. Called the dolphin? What do you want me to do? What dolphin? I have a pet spider I drive to work. Are you high? Nope, don't smoke cigars. What? Is Israel paying you to say that he couldn't swim there? Yeah, I'm being paid by the Mossad to say that my senator couldn't swim from Gibraltar to Gaza. What are you guys on? Not for nothing, but this brought up your viewer numbers. Why do you think we're still having this conversation? What do you mean he's already broke? True. Facts. More than you guys know. This is what the people want. The people just want to sit here and talk. All right, fair enough. I got this Santa Pez dispenser. I meant the funny cigars. Ah, okay. Okay. This is one of chat's better bits, not gonna lie. This is your only bit. All your other bits are just lies for no reason. Could Matt Fradd do it if he had the Santa Pez dispenser? I am gonna kill you. Gonna kill you. The bingo card was good too. That's not a bit though. It's just a thing you made. Because I was so boring that you guys needed something to do while you watched. Why is my messages getting censored? What are you typing? I'm not censoring anything. I can't. I think, let me see. Actually, that's not true. I do have certain things set to censor. There are certain things that are auto-censored. Let's figure out what words are censored. Oh, I have no blocked words. There is no elevator gate. There is nothing happened in the elevator. YouTube just censors stuff randomly. You're fine. What's elevator gate? There is no elevator gate. What have you been up to since you left Pints with Aquinas? I worked for somebody else, and now I work for a radio show, and I do this for fun. And I ride my bike around and smoke cigarettes and take pictures. Get a guest on Sincerely Talk. Catholic stuff. We're not going to do Catholic stuff. If you're watching this channel for Catholic stuff, you're going to be disappointed. I have no interest in doing the Catholic stuff. There is no war in Ba Sing, and there is no elevator gate. Both true. Factual statements. What are you guys going to do about it? Yes and no, Danny. It's just part-time now. Nothing happened in the elevator. Do you guys want to see the elevator? Is that what's going on? Do I need to show you the elevator? Are we going to watch the elevator video? We're going to watch the video of me being trapped in an elevator? Nothing happened in the elevator. Dude, my Instagram Reels algorithm is just gorillas right now, dude. That's not a joke, by the way. Watch. Gorilla. Swipe once. Gorilla. Okay, that one's just an American guy. That one's Charlie Sheen. Cars. Gorilla. Gorilla. Joke about monkey videos. Monkey video. Gorillas. That's not a joke. I can't sign into I would have to sign into Instagram, and we're not doing that. So we're not signing into Instagram. That's just not happening. Where is the video of me getting trapped in the elevator? Is it still even in here? Did I take it out? Did I delete it? Did the video of me being trapped in an elevator get deleted, chat? Is it not on Instagram anymore? It ain't here. Yeah, I went live on Instagram that one time getting trapped in an elevator. It didn't save though. Yeah, there's no I don't have it. I unironically do not have the video of me trapped in the elevator. I don't know where it is. I'll have to look for it. Piece of ball could make it. Wouldn't even need the brakes. He would though. He would need the brakes though. Let me start over. We met and lived in Colorado. My name's Matt. You're gonna have to. I don't remember. I know you're talking about that summer, and I don't remember. And let's see. There are 2 or 3 Matts out there, so you're gonna have to give me a description of some kind. I was the handsome one. Not gonna help. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. All right, let's pull up 1791L. That's what we'll do. We'll watch 1791L. Dude, what was the I saw a new one recently from him. He made a video recently. He has a new channel now, and I forget what it's called. Gonna be totally honest with you. There it is. Found it. All right, this is weird, chat. I don't think you're gonna like this. Chat, you're not gonna like this.
The Luxmaxer is a priest of the material god. The Luxmaxer is an autistic engineer who treats his own form as a machine, which must be made more efficient, more optimized for status. The Luxmaxer pursues the idea that perception is reality to its most extreme.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. I can't watch these on stream. They are too artistic. There's no commentary to do over this. Banger opening. Yeah, these videos are great. Wormwood Complex is great. Russiagate? Let's watch
It's
this.
time to face the truth. The media got this story wrong. They obsessed on this for 3 years. All this time, there was no evidence for it. It was just a conspiracy theory. Rachel Maddow, the most influential liberal TV host in the country, every single night misled millions of liberals into believing something that was totally false, and there will be no media consequences for it. And that is extremely grave and serious.
This is the saddest media spectacle I've ever seen since I began practicing journalism in 2005. And what makes it...
Bro, practicing journalism? When you became a journalist, you're not practicing journalism like it's some doctoral, you're not a doctor, you're not practicing medicine. Shut up, you freaking nerd.
Even sadder is to watch all of the people who vested their journalistic credibility into what proved to be a complete and total fraud and scam continue to try and cling to some vestige of credibility by continuing to spin conspiracy theories that are even more reckless and more unhinged than the ones to which we've been subjected for 3 years. The great journalist and writer Matt Taibbi wrote in an article...
All right, well, that's not actual commentary, so... Okay. I'm calling it for the night, chat. There's nothing else to talk about. It's crap. Slow week. Nothing good. Sucks. Everything sucks. Hopefully it'll be better next week. Send your reaction videos. Things you want me to jump in VC. Not happening. Not happening. I would rather cut my toe off. I would rather cut my toe off. Yeah. I don't. All right. I love you all. Say your prayers. Go to mass.